In the last exercise, you manually created a class named Employee to create value objects. This wasn't such a hard task, but you can save some time by taking advantage of the FlashBuilder Data Services tools. In this video, you will learn how to have FlashBuilder generate a value object class for you. To have FlashBuilder create a value object, you must first create a service using the Data Services view. I'm clicking on the Connect to Data Service link, which opens the dialog to select the service type. You can generate value objects from any of these data services. In this video, I will use a web service. I'm selecting the WSDL option and then clicking Next. I'm adding the absolute path to the WSDL document in the WSDL URI field. Notice that when I entered the path, these fields were automatically filled out. The service name represents the identity of the service within FlashBuilder. The service package is where the FlashBuilder generated service files will be placed. The data type package is where the generated value object files will be placed. I'm clicking Next. FlashBuilder introspects the WSDL and displays the operations I can import. I am unchecking the Update Employees operation, leaving Get All Employees and clicking Finish. In the Data Services view, I can see my service, EX2_09, and the operation I selected. In the Package Explorer view, there is a new directory named services.ex2_09. When I expand the directory, you can see all of the files that configure the data service. _super_ex2_09.as is an internal class that has the service connection logic. You should not modify it because FlashBuilder will overwrite the file if you regenerate the service. You can change the ex2_09.as file since FlashBuilder will not overwrite it. Back in the Data Service view, note that the service is returning an object data type. I'm going to change this so that it will return the employee data type and generate the value object class for me. I am right-clicking on the Get All Employees operation and selecting Configure Return Type. I'm going to allow FlashBuilder to auto-detect the return type if there is one. In this case, I do not need to provide authentication to access the operation, so I'm clicking Next. We already know that the WSDL is returning generic objects, so I will assign a new data type named Employee. It will be an array of employee objects. I'm clicking Finish. You can see that the return data type is now employee. The brackets mean that an array of employee objects will be returned with this operation. In the Package Explorer view, you see that a new directory was created named Value Objects. It contains 3 new files, the _super_employee.as and the _employee entity metadata.as are internal class files that have logic for properties and metadata. Do not modify these files. The file employee.as is a public file class that you can customize by overriding methods. This file will not be overwritten if the value object is regenerated. This is the main application file for this video. You can see that I'm using the MXML web service component to access the data instead of the data service that was generated by FlashBuilder. I am doing this to illustrate that you can use the generated value object without having to use the generated service. I'm adding a breakpoint on the result handler function and clicking the debug button. You can see that the data is an array collection of generic objects. Remember that Cold Fusion is a case-insensitive technology, so it converts all the properties of the object to uppercase letters. As in the previous exercise, in order to create a typed data model, you must loop over the retrieved data and use them to populate value object properties. I will place the returned data in this employees class property. But first I need to create all the value objects. In the result handler, I'm creating a local variable named employee data that I am data typing to the array class. For its value, I am assigning the event.result property as an array collection instance. After this assignment, I am using Content Assist to insert a code template, creating a for each loop by typing Control space and for E. I am modifying the generated for each loop so that it loops over each item in the employee data array collection using the iterant emp, data typed to the object class. This code will loop over the employee data object and reference each item of the data in the array as emp on every iteration of the loop. As I loop over each item in the employee data array collection, I want to convert the data from a generic object into a typed data object. Explicitly, I want to create instances of the employee value object. Above the loop, I'm creating a local variable named employee, data type to the employee class. Note that Flash Builder imports the class for me. Within the for each loop, I'm instantiating the employee variable using the new keyword and calling its constructor. Next, I'm populating the first name with the emp.firstName value. Remember that employee is the typed employee object that I'm creating, while emp is the untyped data from the server. To save time, I'm pasting all the other properties. Currently, this code just creates a new employee object on every instance of the loop. Now I need to take that employee object and populate the employees array collection class property with it. As the last line in the for loop, I'm typing employees and then a period. Then I'm using the add item method of the array collection class to add the new employee value object to the collection. I'm making sure that my breakpoint is still defined on the closing brace of the result handler. When I debug the application, and drill down in the application objects to find the employees object, you can see that it is populated with an array collection of typed data based on Flash Builder's generated value object. For your next step, work through the exercise titled Using the Data Services Wizard to Connect to a Service.